What's going on, folks? Welcome back to a brand new episode of the After Hours. I'm your host, Ryan Rozbiani. Welcome back, Zinger Nation. Welcome back, new viewers, and welcome back, old viewers, and welcome new viewers. Hope everyone had a good trading day today. Markets are being a little bit wonky. Stocks were being a little bit weird. I hope you were able to print and have a good day, and if not, hopefully tomorrow will be better. We've got a lot to talk about going into tomorrow. Obviously, as the title states, we got to talk about two big stocks that are making moves downward, which is really weird. Lucid Motors and Peloton. Also, Sprt, a new Bitcoin mining stock that's kind of going to the moon. Literally, like, it's wild at how fast this is moving. We're going to talk about all of them. We've got charts. We've got stuff set up. So without further ado, I'm going to play you the little intro they got for me, and then we are going to go get started. All right. So we've got a lot to talk about. The charts are the most important. I'm going to start off with Peloton, then I'm going to touch on Lucid, then we're going to go to Sprt, then I'm going to talk about the important stuff going into tomorrow. It's no joke. The Fed has a very, 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 very important meeting going into tomorrow, and I want you all to be prepared, and I'm going to help you prepare for it going into tomorrow so that you can hopefully, A, maybe capitalize on what's going to happen, or B, protect yourself as we're going into it. All we ask is you hit the like button if you like the video, and we can keep going. It looks like we've already started off the episode with one dislike, so shout out to whoever had showed up and hit the dislike button before we even started. We appreciate your passion. So Peloton reported earnings right at close, and this one was a woozy one. It just took a nosedive at one point, down 15%. I'm not joking. It was a massive, massive dive. Let's go over the actual earnings that came out. They did put out actually a really, really nice deck that I kind of want to look at very briefly. I want to go over the highlights, but there's a few things in the deck that I caught before we went into it that I want to kind of discuss, and then we'll dive deeper into what's going on next. So we can see the adjusted sales were 800 million versus 106 for the estimates of going into Q1, and their adjusted EBITDA loss of 285 million connected with their fitness subscriptions. So that's their projections going into next quarter. Their EPS missed by 58 cents. The estimates were negative 4 cents, I believe, and it came negative 44 cents. It came out to negative 105. But they beat sales estimates, which is very surprising with everything that was going on. They beat sales coming in at 937 versus 921. So when it came to terms of sales, they did very good. They have their full report here that they put out. Essentially, this is telling them that there are conference calls happening. Their interactive Peloton Interactive cuts the price of the original bike by $400 across all markets. Some investors don't like when prices go down. Some of them really like when prices go down because it opens it up to a new leg of the market and more people can afford it. So that's always really, really, really fun to see that. And for me personally, I think you open it up to more market share. You open it to more people being able to afford the bikes, and you can kind of bring in mass volume. As long as you're not losing money on this cut, it's not a big deal. But you also see some things when prices go up, investors kind of start piling in. They're like, oh, this is fantastic. They're raising prices. But they did file their Form 8K, which has the deck built into it, which I want to kind of go over very quickly. Peloton shareholder letter Q4 2021. As you can see here, they've got a lot of their numbers that came in, 2.63 million ending connected fitness subscriptions. Cool. This is their guidance going to 2022. 5.4 billion generated total revenue. Estimate was 5.3, so that's higher. Very good. Gross profit margin of 34%. That's awesome. A loss of 325 million, adjusted EBITDA of negative 6% adjusted EBITDA margin. Okay, not too wild. And then for Q1 guidance, this is going to their Q1 2022. Again, their quarters are off one by what we're really used to, what's going on. And their profits are 33%, 800 million total revenue. As you can see here, FY21 going into FY20, 2020 to 2021, they imagine this continues to keep going up. As you can see, subscriptions were and total quarterly revenue is going up. Q4 was where they kind of took a bit of a dip. Same thing here in terms of their connected workouts. A bit of a jagged edge, but this is exactly what we were expecting as places reopen, as gyms reopen. People will move more towards gyms rather than at-home bike stations and stuff like that. So I don't want to spend too much time on Peloton. I'm going to tell you my plan of attack that I did with this stock just a few minutes ago. I alerted it to my Discord, my Patreon members. I'm going to be adding this stock. I sent out an alert very quickly that I said, hey, I'm putting in a limit order at $98 per share because I think that this is a stock that's very good long term. And the last time I saw this happen, which I'll show you exactly when that happened, We don't need this right now. It's not important. Was this massive dip that happened here. This was due to the bike recall that happened. They had a massive dip. It happened pre-market into open, and that day it took a massive 15% dive. Now, that's our negative news. Those dips kind of tend to hold. But as you can see here, it quickly recovered in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trading days. 7, 8, let's say 7 to 8 trading days. Just give it some flack. I'll say 7 to be fair. 7 trading days. It recovered fairly quickly. In my opinion, 7 trading days to make 15% is fantastic on a swing position. I know a lot of people, especially in the retail community, are like got eyeballs of greed, and they're like, we want 1,000% runners. Everything is awesome. We want 1,000,000% runners. That's not how it works. We don't play like that. So when I saw this opportunity, I messaged one of my buddies and I said, hey, Peloton took a massive dive. What do you think? And he goes, let's add. And so I said, all right, let's add. So we put in, we missed the 97, but we got in at 98. We put in a 98 limit order, and I think I got a 99 limit order, and bought shares at that point. As you can clearly see, we're up. We're up about $10 a share already. So this number looks ugly to you, but if you use this advantage to take on dips, that's why I talk about this on the show a lot. It's always good to have a set of stocks that you want long term. You keep those in the back of your pocket so that once dips like this happen, and if you can see if the dips are not justified, right? If their guidance is good, if the numbers make sense, look, we always knew that Peloton, this massive 120 mark was a bit of insanity. It's expensive. It's just a bike. There's nothing really massive to it, but the stock looks like it always returns back to the 120, 130 area, and I think it'll return there again as well. Hence why I decided, hey, I'm going to add it. Now 170, that's too much. I like Peloton down here in the 100s. I will happily add. In the 80s, I will pile it. But I decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to take this opportunity. I'm going to buy into this stock. I like it, and we added, and we did very, very well so far. In just a matter of minutes, I have a few Patreon members. One of the Patreon members, AJ, she messaged me. She goes, "I'm up $370. Are you sure we want to keep this long term?" I said, "I'm keeping it long term, but if you want to hold on to it, or if you want to take profits, that's always a smart idea." I see you guys' comments in there. Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? SPRT, I promise we're going to talk about it. It's a very, very good story about that stock, especially if you're in the Discord, Patreon. You guys have been in this stock with me forever, and I'm going to show you guys proof of that. So Peloton, not a bad deal. I still like it. I think tomorrow we'll see a little bit more blood tomorrow into market open. You'll probably see it kind of trade here. You'll probably see some blood again down here. You might even see it under 100 again, especially with what's going on tomorrow with the Fed meeting. But then I think over time, it will begin to recover itself and fight back. So right now, we're essentially we're going to open gap down somewhere around here tomorrow. Well, not that far out, but somewhere down here, essentially around where this candle is, you'll probably gap down again. And I think it'll slowly make its way back up and fight again against the 50 and the 200 MA. So it's not going to be an easy ride back up, but again, it's a long-term position, so we like having it. Thank you for what you do, Richard. Thank you for watching and supporting. Appreciate you, Richard. I see some of your comments, by the way. If you see me turn my head this way, it's because I have the whole camera set up here, so I have to go sideways to see it. SPRT, what a run. Jeff, how you doing? PTON in the house. What's going on, buddy? Tiny's here. What's up, buddy? Sai, I promise I'll talk about SPRT. Dan, how you doing? I promise we'll talk about SPRT. Todd, how you doing? Double R. Thank you. I haven't heard that one in a while. Bad day, Mike. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I'm sorry to hear that. We'll rectify it. We'll talk about it, and we'll hopefully rectify it going into tomorrow. Paulino, welcome back. Paulino's here, so I got to remind you guys, smash that like button. So I see that combo was from before the last stream. Looks like kind of bled over into this. Is Amazon in your back pocket? Yes, Amazon under 3,000 is in my back pocket. I don't have Amazon over 3,000. I know it's a fantastic company, but this is the thing. Really quickly, just to touch on this, I like to add companies on their pain points, right? I like to add companies. So when I originally started adding Amazon, it was around here, and those were partial shares. I was adding whole shares, and I'm not a multi-millionaire by any means. So I started adding a little bit of partial shares here back when we were under the 3,000s. So I still believe that if we do get a market crash / correction or whatever happens, we will see it under 3,000. We saw its pain point here, and we saw it continue to bleed. And I still think that this is a very weak stock right now. Your support's around 1327. Essentially, you have some support here. I don't consider a one candle a support. That's not how I operate. You've got support here again, 3127, which is funny. It's very parallel to the eyeball that we just did. I see some support down here in the 3000s. Right. So I would add Amazon under 3,000 personally. I don't like it over 3,000. Is it me being cheap? Maybe, but it's just, again, it's one of those stocks that I was able to capitalize on back during the whole COVID situation, under 3K last summer. It was last summer, now it's 2 summers ago. No, last summer, excuse me. The 2019, 2020, 2021 situation, it all feels like one Big Mac of a year. It just feels like it's all connected, like the 3 buns and a Big Mac. I think it's 3 buns. I don't know. I don't eat Big Macs. But I still think under 3,000 this stock, because you got to look for the pain points, like what's the lowest this stock has gone, and usually around then. But your best bet always is to dollar cost average in. If you like Amazon, dollar cost average in. If you don't like Amazon, well, you're not going to buy it no matter what price it is, right? So next stock I want to talk to you folks about is Lucid, LCID. Full transparency, full transparency, full transparency. One thing that I've always promised you all is I would give you full transparency. I am holding puts on this stock. Why am I holding puts on this stock? One, because I believe you can make money on the way up on a stock and on the way down on a stock. I'd added shares here in the 17s, sold them in the high 20s, right? I'd also added shares down here in the 12s, sold them in the high 50s, right? So this is the other thing. I love Lucid Motors long term. That's who I am. So I'm going to add Lucid long term eventually. But right now it's shaky. Talk to any technical analysis person who will tell you this based off of stock charts. And I already see people getting mad. That's okay. You can get mad at me, but that you're being emotional and you shouldn't be. It's stocks. It's business. That's the saying. If you want to get emotional, go play lotto scratchers. This is the freaking stock market. It won't show you mercy. If you start crying, they're not going to give you your money back. That's how it works. Look here, 21 moving average is at 21.62. We broke that today, 21.48. Breaking the 200 moving average, you can talk to anyone, is a weak sign for a stock. Also, second, we know that they filed their S1, went into effect. Third, we know lockup ends on the September 1st, which means that when lockup ends, investors that are in there, that have been in there essentially since down here, because remember, these guys used to be a $9 stock, right? Can now sell their stock. So you'll probably see a mass exodus here. Will it be massive? Maybe. Will it be ugly? Maybe. But I just have puts. I have puts on this going into mid-September. But my plan is this. I like this company long term. So what I'm going to do is I have the cash from when I sold my initial position. And I'm going to use the cash that I make from the puts, if I make money from the puts, and roll it into commons once the pain point happens. My initial entry will probably be between 16 and 17. As you can see here, these are the support areas that I'm watching. It has some support around 20. If it holds 20, perfect. If it doesn't, we'll be coming down to the 17s. If it doesn't hold the 17s, we come down to the 16s. And if it gets really ugly, we could even probably see between the 15s and 10s. Will we come that low? I don't think so. I don't think we'll go under 15. That's just my personal opinion, but that's how I'm playing this one. You can also see it's got a bit of a head and shoulders pattern here too, so that's also bearish. You can see those tend to kind of break down as to how those play out. So definitely keep that in mind. That's how I'm playing Lucid Motors. I like Lucid long term. That's how I'm playing it. Any hot stocks to watch? We could talk about them, Matt. No problem. We'll definitely talk about some hot stocks to watch. I don't know what Gurga means, but cool. I guess that's a new thing the cool kids say. But I like Lucid long term. Look, it's a fantastic company. They're very smart. They issued a press release on the same day that they had their massive S1 filing. I can show you the S1 filing. Where did we go to lose? LCID. They had an S1 filing. No one reported on it. That's the funny thing, is no one talked about it. It was never announced. You just had S1 goes into effect, and then you can see it here. I'll show you the S1 amended. This is the reason why, I like the company long term, but we saw the S1 get filed, and I'll show you. It's a massive amount of money. It's a massive amount of shares and massive amount of dilution. Look, 1.336 billion shares. The stock's already sitting at a 1.54 bill float, right? 1.56. The float is high, and it's essentially almost going to be doubled. And once that happens, is you should technically, right, your value becomes cut in half. Let's just say around 10, 11 bucks, realistically, with the valuation pump that these things get, 15, 16 bucks. That's how I'm playing it. Now, could I be wrong 100% and miss out? Sure, I'll be more than happy to pay more for this stock than anything. But I also don't want you guys to fall for the romance of a stock just because it's there. It's a company. It's business. They need to raise money. It's a car company. Tesla has done money raises. Ford has done them. GM has done them. Toyota has done them. All the massive car companies have. These guys are new. They need money. You guys should want them to be raising money. Marathon Digital Holdings is a company that you guys know that I've been big on. I've been in Marathon since it was $3.06. That's when I initiated my long-term position, right? Why did I put 306 up there? I'm a nut. That was... Okay, I guess we went to the Japanese stock market. I think that's the Japanese or Hong Kong. I'm not sure. Not sure where we went. But look, I don't want to delete that. But look, if we come down here, right? This is a stock that I initiated a long-term position around this time, right? It was around the $3 area, somewhere here, right? And this was around the time when I initiated it. My position was either here or here. It's so old that I don't even remember when it was, right? I was initiating swings around this area. I think it was in November because I haven't still touched my 1 year point on it yet from when I entered it. But it was around here. The $3 position was when I initiated a 306 position long term. During this time, we had a ton of offerings. Look at the massive swings up and down that this stock had during this time. Each one of these down swings were offerings. I was in the stock for like, I want to say 7 to 10 offerings. Did I care? No, because I knew what the plan of the company was. I was in it long term. So if you're in Lucid long term, I don't think you should care. You should just have cash set aside, ready to go to buy more shares if you want to. Or you can sell and buy lower, whatever you want. It's 100% up to you as to how you want to operate. What's going on, Nicole? I see you down there. How's it going? GPS. We'll definitely talk about Gap. I like Gap. AMD, we'll definitely touch on that one, I promise. Two companies that I like. Gap is a company that I regret selling my shares a long time ago. Before the Kanye news came out, that Kanye was working with Gap, I had shares, but I sold it when I was I go through phases sometimes where I liquidate portions of my portfolio and go cash. And especially for my long term, if I've made good money on it, I liquidate, go cash, and then I look to add to it again. But later down the line, I look to eventually come back into the position to be able to kind of restart my position into it. Gap, unfortunately, never presented me with that opportunity yet. Dennis, what's going on, buddy? Dennis, I haven't seen you in a long time, man. How you doing? Preparing for Red Day tomorrow due to Fed meeting. What other dips besides PTON could we be looking for? We're going to talk about them, Dennis, I promise you. But PTON was a good one. But yeah, the Fed meeting tomorrow is going to be a very interesting one. Everyone's really scared about the Fed meeting. I think it's priced in already. I'll be honest with you. I think the Fed meeting is priced in into the S&P 500. Will you see it break this 9 EMA? You could. I don't see why not. But I think the lowest you come down to is 443.20. And now I get it. In the grand scheme of things, everyone's going to freak out if SPY drops $3. But realistically, not a big deal. The freaking thing's been doing 52-week highs every single week, right? Literally almost back-to-back days on the way up, and to the point where it's not even a big deal anymore. Hitting a high in the S&P 500 was such a big deal back in like 2019, 2018, 2017, it would make headlines. Now it's not a big deal anymore. It just keeps going and going and going. I like Quinton's mentality, you guys. I want you guys to listen to Quinton here. Fire sale. Think of your stocks as on sale. If you got a long-term position, if you like the stock, right, you need to consider it as, oh, my stock's on sale. I'm going to get it for much cheaper now than I wanted. Peloton, a stock that I really liked, is on sale. It's like Black Friday. Everyone lives for Black Friday. 50% off my stock, my TV's cheaper. This is cheaper. I'm going to buy everything for much cheaper. The stock market is the only thing that people don't like to pay less for. They're like, oh, I have a television. I need a second television, but I don't want the television to get cheaper because I own a television already. No. That's a bad mentality. Go into it willing to buy the television for cheaper. Not a big deal. And television in this case is a metaphor for stocks, obviously. I see Quinton's actually in our Discord. He's saying he's actually going to go out and buy a Peloton. So I'm ready for Q4. The next quarter earnings are going to be good. Shout out to Quinton. Richard, what's going on, buddy? Nicole, let's talk about GPS. We'll talk about GPS in a second. I want to talk to you guys about SPRT. So let me just quickly retweet this link. Also, can you guys help me? Do me a favor. Hit the like button. We want to boost the algorithm on this one a little bit so we can get some folks in here. August, YouTube is not very kind to the algorithm for financial videos. And if you could hit the like button, that would mean a lot so we can get some traction going here. But let's talk SPRT. SPRT. So SPRT is support.com, and they're kind of doing a lock and key deal with a Bitcoin miner, and they're going to be merging. Now, I want to show you something very interesting here. A lot of people will claim that they were there first on this stock. We were here first. I just want you to show you guys the power of the Discord community that we have. Someone brought this idea to me. I ran through it. I fleshed it out, and I presented it to my team on July 7th, around $4. So if you look here on July 7th, around $4 on July. So if you put your limit order, let me turn off Bollinger Bands. I want to kind of, the stock chart has moved so much, right? So if you go to around July 7th, if you look here, you could have gotten it for 420 or waited the next day and got it around 385. And the stock since then has run massively has run. People keep saying penny stocks are dead, but here's about a 400% runner for you. I don't know what I can say. Like, people, I get so much crap for running a Patreon and a paid service, but come on, like, this one play, you bought one share, would have paid for your monthly thing. Now, let's say you bought 10 shares, God forbid, you spent $40 on a position, would have paid for your whole subscription year. So the Patreon is there for you if you'd like to sign up. The link is in the description at ryanstocks.com. You click on it, you go to the Patreon. I think there's like 2 or 3 slots left. Oh no, look, 1 slot left. So there's 1 slot left in the Tesla if you want to sign up. If it sells out and you want to sign up, DM me. Just because you guys are watching from Benzinga, I'll add a slot for you just for that. But I'm very hesitant to add more people because we expanded it a little bit this month because we got new admins and I got a little bit more help, but I don't want to expand it too much to the point where I can't handle it. And I want to be able to, I can still make sure I can get one-on-one work with everyone. Now let's talk about SPRT. Clearly the 250 moving averages we're way above them. It's not going to help me much here. 9 EMA is your support. As you can see here, it's kind of been curling on the way up here. This stock is getting pumped like crazy. This stock is getting pushed like crazy. It's got a 15 mil float, so it means it moves very quickly. It moves very fast. One thing we need to discuss is going into this merger deal that's happening September 7th. In order to understand that, we have to go to the SEC filings. So we got to go back to the good old SEC website. So I'm going to go to SEC Edgar. Actually, we can go here. We don't need SEC Edgar. SPRT. SEC Edgar, I like to go when we need to go like more complex. But this one, we just need a filing or two. So we can see here, 10Q doesn't help me. I think this 8K will give me what I need. I think it's on the 10th is the merger. So here we go. For the second quarter of 2021, the revenue was 8.5 mil, decrease of 2.5 mil. So the revenue is going down. That's not good. Gross profits. Okay, I don't care about earnings right now. What I care about is the deal. SPRT merger. You know what? I'm going to go like this. I'm going to give it a quick Google. I'm going to see if there's someone who's been kind enough to type out an article for us in order for me to, I don't know why the formatting. I guess Google's getting buggy on me today. Okay, let me see if too high to chase and too hot to short. Okay, merger details, chart details. We can do that ourselves. This looks like just a BS article. Which is $5 before placing your order. Closer look at SPRT, Reddit. Yeah, it's a big one that Wall Street Bets loves. It's a big one that Wall Street Bets loves. Merger deal. I want details on the merger. I want someone to just hear the merger details. Support more than 50% from merger. Yeah, announced 22nd. That'll be merging with Green Ridge Generation, which is a Bitcoin mining company. Once the deal closes in Q3, SPRT will be a full-fledged mining stock. SPRT Green Ridge shareholders will hold 92% of SPRT. Owners will hold 8% of the merged company. That's fine. So it's a lock and key deal, very similar to any in Griffin mining that's happening. Dan, how do you sign up? Dan, in the link below, there's a thing that says ryanstocks.com. I'll show you. You go to ryanstocks.com, link below. You click on this tile, and you click on the tile, and then you click join. And then it's going to ask you to either sign up if you have an account or not, and then it'll just take you through it, and you'll be able to sign up. If you need help, Dan, shoot me a DM on Twitter at Ryan Rozbiani, also linked in the description, and I'll be able to help you and guide you through the sign-up process. Let's keep going. Let's keep going here. Slide deck shareholders will receive 2.9 million shares. This represents 2 million shares. The stock price is $5. I'll be honest with you. I think the stock is ripping. The stock is ripping, and I think it'll continue to rip into the deal. But it's dangerous. Look, the stocks ran 41%, and it's running another 15% in after hours. I think what's happening here is it's just a matter of retail doesn't really have anything. I mean, I just want to retrace to how far this stock has ran since we alerted it. 500%. Jeez, Lou, thank God. I love when these plays play out. I love 500% runner swing in the middle of August. You guys got to be kidding me. It's beautiful. The thing that worries me is what happens after they merge. Will there be an offering? Will there be something that happens why the company hasn't initiated offering? Because if you get there's a lot of people in this community that know the Bitcoin mining space, right? I'm very, 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 very familiar with the Bitcoin mining space, and I know that it's very, very, very expensive to be in the Bitcoin mining space. I want to show you Green Ridge's operation. I like Green Ridge's operation. They're very, very, very efficient. Very efficient. Greenidge Generation. I don't know why I kept saying Green Ridge. Green Ridge is such a better name. Greenidge Generation Holdings Inc. Very, very cool. Very great operation. That obviously, I like it a lot. But to me, these guys are going to need more miners, right? Company about Greenidge Generation. 75% historic footprint. Now operating Greenidge upstate company for coal. Blah, blah, blah. So Greenidge is the energy company. So the energy company is fine. I don't need the energy company. I need support.com. It's weird that they have a .com in their name. That's just the name. Who cares, right? So here we go. This is the thing. I want you guys to take a quick look at this, and you guys tell me how you feel about this Bitcoin miner. So I'm going to run some numbers for you. Riot blockchain has about a 2.4 exahash situation going on. They're trading at 36. Marathon is 2.07 or 2.4. I don't know what their updated number is off the top of my head. They're trading at 36, right? Hut 8, half of Marathon and Riot's trading at 6. So Hut 8 is the one that I want to parallel my example for. Hut 8 is one of my favorite Bitcoin miners. It's one that I'm regretting I did not buy back when they were around $3, and I'm watching carefully to add very, very soon. This is then my next Bitcoin mining play is Hut 8, and then is the one that I want to get in because I love the company, I love the team, I love what they're doing, and I've discussed them a lot on here. But I'm going to just do a little thesis parallel for you and kind of side by side these two companies, and then we can decide if 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks is fair for SPRT. You guys can decide. You choose, right? As you guys choose, right? So I want to go to company presentations. This is from August 2021, fairly new. I am going to be making a YouTube video on these guys. I want you guys to do me a solid. Do me one solid. If you guys aren't going to sign up for the Patreon, you're not going to follow me on Twitter, just go to ryanstocks.com and subscribe to my YouTube. YouTube has been very, very difficult this month. If you guys could subscribe and support and watch videos, it would mean the world. Hut 8, here we go. I just want to go to a few things. So this is the snapshot, which we're going to parallel going into Greenidge generation. So I'm just going to call them support.com, right? Support.com's operation. They're expecting to have, they currently have a 1.1 exahash rate, and they're expected to grow to 2.6. So 2.6 is around where Riot and Mara is. So getting to 2.6 is where they're going to go. I'm going to assume that they have the miners bought, they have the miners paid for. That's a done deal, right? And the megawatts, I don't care. Everyone talks about megawatts, massive megawatts. Beautiful, fantastic. I'm glad you have the ability to get there, but you need the miners to be able to use the electricity to be able to use the megawatts, and the miners are what cost you money. Greenidge, and support.com have a great deal in terms of the electricity cost, so that's not something that I'm worried about. Hut 8 also has a very good deal. I'm not trying to push Hut 8. I don't have a position in either of them. I don't care. I don't want you guys to think I'm pumping anything. I'm just comparing them based off of a company that's active and a company that's going to go active. Very similar if we look here. Hut 8 is looking for a 2.7 to 3 exahash rate into Q4 of 2021. And then as we saw here, a 2.6 hash rate in 2022. So and then these guys are saying mid-2022, 6 exahash. So right off the bat, we can see that Hut is already a 3, about a little bit less than, let's just say 2.5x hash rate wise going into 2022, right? And they're trading at $6. And they've got capacity. They're holding 4,000 self-mined Bitcoin. They've always held it. They're working with the white label hosting, profitable self-mining, whatever. But just tit for tat, right? On hash rate. It's not good right now, right? Because just looking at the power capacity, everyone's power capacity goes up. Everyone can expand. Everyone can do that. That's not something that I really watch for. But if we look at their actual hash rate going into 2021, it's 2.7 for the end of 2021. And these guys are going to end going into 2022 at 2.6. So they should be trading around what Hut is, right? What's like market cap. We can look at market caps as well because I know that's very, very important. It's under $1 billion market cap. SPRT has to be over. It has to be over now. So market cap of 400. Okay, so I see now. Okay, so their market caps are very different. I apologize. I'm under the impression that their market caps were much, much closer. Okay. So now if we're accounting for market cap right now, so it's half the market cap, so it should be double the price. So again, if we double that, it'd be around $12, $13. So it's trading at about a $10 premium. And that's assuming that they both have the same. Now it's running, so it's a momentum play right now. That's what it is. And don't fight the momentum play. If you try to fight a momentum play, you get slaughtered. Fighting a momentum play, you get slaughtered. I've learned that the hard way. Other people have learned that the hard way. This is the thing. You don't want to fight the momentum play. But SPRT, in my personal opinion, just respectfully, it's if you're buying and holding long term, it's overvalued. But if you're swing trading it and day trading it, congratulations, you're slaughtering. Even if you added at close today, you're up 17%. So you're killing it. But what's happening right now is you got people on Twitter pumping it, saying it's going to go to $50. I don't believe that. I don't believe that it goes to $50. Can it? Sure. If these guys keep pumping it, this thing can go to $150. Should it? No. But fundamentally, you start slowing down at a certain point because you run out of fuel. Intraday hit a $20 kind of resistance. Now we can't even go back in time because it's a brand new stock. You got to remember this thing was trading at a few bucks. I personally think it should be trading fairly. If we want to be fair, around 10 to 12. 10 to 12 is a fair price in my opinion for SPRT. Here, over here, up top, you're dancing in gravy. If you have shares, congratulations. But I think after this merger deal, there'll probably be something which involves money raises, expected hash rate, third-party hosting. I don't know if they own these miners, but again, I'm under the assumption that they do. Their cost of mining is fantastic. If you look at this, $2,000 per Bitcoin, one of the best cost per Bitcoin that I've seen ever. They're doing very well there. I don't think HUT discloses that here, their cost per Bitcoin. Oh, here we go. 3,000 Canadian. What's 3,000 Canadian? So USD to CAD. All right, I should have done that the other way. 3,000 Canadian. It's about 2,364. And 2,300. Oh, wow. HUT's cost is better. That's funny. HUT's got a better cost. Okay, now HUT is getting juicier. HUT's getting juicier. I'm such an idiot for not buying that. I'm such an idiot for not buying HUT at $3. Now you're saying you're an idiot for not buying SPRT at $4 when you called it, but that's also the other thing is you can't be in all place. Wow, HUT's got a really good one. I'm not trying to pump HUT. That's not the point of it. I'm looking for comparisons that I can make between HUT and SPRT. Transaction details. This is the important thing. Agreement. Approximately 5% of Greenwich common stock will be paid to SPRT shareholders in consideration of the merger. So SPRT shareholders will receive 0.124 of common A for each Greenwich ratio. Okay. Based on SPRT's closing share price on March 19, 2021, SPRT should receive 0.124 shares of Class A common stocks. That's going to be different because the share price is clearly different now. And they haven't filed an amendment to that yet. They probably will. They're looking for merger to be closed in Q3 of 2021, which I believe the merger closes on September 10th, if I'm not mistaken. I really need more details on this. Here we go. The meeting will be held on September 10th at 8 a.m. in Los Angeles. Merger will be following shares. Okay. Fully diluted. Okay. The exchange ratio will be 1/1000th of the quotient of this many shares. Assuming the price of this support exchange ratio of 0.17. So this is what's weird right now. If I'm understanding this correctly, it looks like for every one share, you get 0.11 share of whatever Greenwich is. So does that mean we get cut by 10 or 11? I don't know. I'm not in it, so I don't really pay too much attention to these kind of things or frankly care. But I know I have told my team to get out before the merger happens. Because this is the thing, right? We've seen these kind of mergers go down. You guys remember Metamaterials, MMAT? Look at this. Merger, tank. You don't want to be in this tank. Or it was TRCH before that, which is delisted. But TRCH, it's not going to come up. Trying to force it. That doesn't get delisted now because it's MMAT now. Remember this? They did it. They did massive offering after whatever. I'm not trying to cause FUD. I don't care. I want you guys to make money. I also want you guys to hit the like button. But SPRT, again, interesting. Very similar situation going on with any and Sphere 3D, right? This one's not getting pumped as hard, even though the float's around the same. These guys have a betterish deal. A betterish deal from what I understood. I'm not in this one either. Full disclosure, I don't own this one. This one's a much more interesting kind of stuff. The gap filled there. I was just checking the gap fill. These guys have a much lower hash rate than the other two. But they've got the path set up to go much higher. This is a very attractive chart setup, but Bitcoin's not trading as high as it should. Or not that it should, but as high as I'd like it to be. But look, even Bitcoin's still holding that 200 MA. As long as it's holding the 200 MA, I'm fine with it. It can go lower too. I don't need the order book. Okay, shout out to this user that's getting blocked. Yeah, rumors right on. He's saying take a look at also PIC, which is now Excel, and merger fell off the cliff. I think that was a SPAC, if I remember correctly. But very similar situation. Once mergers happen, a lot of weird things can occur. I usually like to wait for the dust to settle, play into the merger. Literally, as you can see here, had one day where it ran 86%. Why? Who knows? Does it make sense? Not really. But you also have to take into account valuations. And we found a very, very, very parallel. Again, I'm talking about this for the people that are planning to hold this thing long term, right? If you're planning on holding SPRT through it, you're thinking like SPRT is going to go to 50, 80, 100 after the merger. Don't fool yourself. That's not how it works. Prior to merger with TRT Mining Company. Compare SPRT to similar companies prior to merger with THR with the mining company. I don't know what that was. Don, if you could fill me in a little bit more on those details, that would help out a lot. If shorts cover for SPRT, won't that cause a blow? I don't know. You're saying Ortex is showing a 75.5% short interest. It could. But again, playing it on just comparing it to our friends that are in AMC, right? Our friends in AMC have been dealing with not SMC, AMC. Have been talking about a high short position and a blow and a massive mother of all short squeezes, and we can see you had it. You had a big short squeeze here. You had one here, and I think 2 days ago you had one here too. These are little short squeezes that happen. These aren't by. It's not like there was no catalyst. Nothing happened. These are short squeezes, little short squeezes that happen, that are occurring. You could also be dealing with one right now. I think shorts are covering going into the merger. They don't want to be in there. Didn't it blow already? Exactly. That's the other thing. STVC is right on point. Didn't it blow already? It's up 500% from where we called it in the Patreon. But look, 26% day, a 4% day, 20% day, and then a 41% day with an after-hour run of 13.5%. If this isn't shorts covering or mother of all short squeezes or whatever the hell you want to call it, I don't know what is. I don't know what is it. Are you expecting SPRT to go to $1,000 a share? Are you expecting SPRT to I can't there's nothing for me to go back to like this was a different company back then. What you're looking at here is a different company. This is not the SPRT that you know now. Very different company, very different situation, very different float, restructurings, all that other crap that's happened. I'd be very careful. SPRT 100K floor. Do you know what floor means, my friend? Floor means support. Your floor is here at $2.07. Floor means that this is the bottom. Floor means bottom. Like, you know, you get in a building. That's what a floor means. I don't know if you're trying to fool yourself or you're pumping, but a floor is the bottom. You have a floor and then you have a top. I started small. Okay. How high do you think SPRT could run? I think right now, so if we're looking at how high can it run, we can see it right now. If we go to the 1 hour chart, it looks like the highest it can run is 2387 right now, right? And that's with a 1 hour chart in this. Now, can it open up and keep going tomorrow? Sure. I think it probably will. That's the other thing you have to keep in mind is that with these kind of stocks, again, retail is very desperate for anything that moves. That's why you see massive momentum plays happen, is because retail doesn't like to look around for opportunities, and retail likes massive movers. So once they see a stock is up, oh my God, it's up 20%, let's buy more. Of course, with a float this low, everyone buys 1,000 shares, 2,000 shares, 10,000 shares, 100,000 shares. The freaking thing pops, right? And it keeps going. But the term floor is 100% inaccurate to say that the floor is $100. No, your floor is down here. Floor is the bottom. It's like your support, your base support. I hope it goes over $100 too. I hope it goes to the moon, to the stars, whatever. I want you guys to be prepared. The only reason I'm discussing it right now is the only reason I'm discussing with you guys is for those that are looking to hold it after the merger, right? So if you look here, you have a rounding bottom formation, and a rounding bottom formation, textbook rounding bottom formation, is very bullish, and this is why we played it too. I'll show you here. So rounding bottom, come to the bottom of the bottom, right? It's about a 75% move. And if I pick this up and put it to the top of the rounding top right here, if we come here, boom, 1657, which it cleared at the rounding top, which is fantastic. And now it's continuing to go further. So the rounding top played out. If you kind of look at it, it's a bit of a rounding top. Some people might even say it's an inverse head and shoulders. Two very, very similar things, very similar bullish ways out. Richard says, I'm getting out before then. I agree. I think take profits before then. You don't have to, the thing could keep going after the merger too. But this is the thing that retail tends to forget is retail will hold stock when it goes to the moon. Like, congratulations, you got in at, let's say, $5. You got in at $10. You're at $20. You'll hold it. And then, oh, it fell. Now what? We got to pray for a short squeeze? I don't get it. To sell after the short squeeze, then buy after some is the best idea. This is the thing, man. You don't know when the short squeeze is going to happen. I think this is a short squeeze. The thing ran 40%. The thing ran 40%. I don't think this is people coming in to buy. I think it's a short squeeze. Yeah, they're not technically a mining company. They're becoming a mining company. They're entering into the mining space, but they're more technical support for home sourcing. They're returning into a Bitcoin mining company with this lock-key deal situation that's happening with Greenidge. So that's that. I don't want to keep talking about SPRT the whole stream. SOS, I don't like SOS, Michael. I'll be honest with you. SOS, I probably have made more money on SOS than any retail trader that's pumping it right now. I'll show you how I played SOS, and then you can tell me what you think. So I entered SOS here around an offering price of 568 in pre-market and ran to 12, and I sold. I got out. I made money there. Then I think I played it one more time. I don't know from where to where, but I played it one more time. Then I played it a third time. I lost on the third time, but I made money the first two times. Look, SPRT has been – you tell me what you think about it. SPRT is a Bitcoin mining company that's right now located in China. Yes, they're looking to relocate. 110% they're looking to relocate, but they haven't yet. But this has been in a steadfast decline forever. Okay, this guy came back. How do you block someone and they keep coming back? But it's been in a rut, man, and their mining capacity isn't fantastic. That's the other thing that bothers me about SOS is I get they're using like clean water and energy, yada shmada, but I don't see it. I don't like it. I don't like it. The company's main thing isn't even Bitcoin mining. That's why I stay away from it. Sure, AJ, we could talk about HUT. I was just discussing HUT in depth. I'm not in HUT, by the way. I'm not big upping HUT. I think HUT is over here. It's expensive too. I'd like HUT around $5. Will I get it? Probably not. But I'll hope for like a flash crash like I did with Peloton today, and I'll probably steal some then. But I like HUT mining a lot. They're growing. They're very cheap in mining Bitcoin. The stock is very strong. It's led by a fantastic company that I've listened to their interviews extensively. Look at that beautiful golden cross. You dummy, you should have bought. I'll buy some later. But this is the thing. I like HUT a lot. I'll give you 100% props on that one. But I do think it will probably break the 90 MA. If Bitcoin breaks the 200 MA. So if you look here, this is what you have to really watch with Bitcoin, right? This is the main level, the 200 moving average. Literally open up a Bitcoin chart, add moving average, add 200. It's at 55.9, so 46. If it breaks that, a lot of your Bitcoin mining stocks will get hurt. Mine too. I hold Mara, that'll get hurt. So in terms of that, that's there for you. What are a few other stocks you like? Let's talk about them. So someone earlier, I'm going to scroll up. Someone earlier was asking me about AMD. AMD is one that I really like now. I don't have a position in it currently. I agree with you, Larry. Cypher is a better play, 100%. But they're going to have their ups and downs too. I think Guac finished their merger. I don't think they swapped it. But Guac's having a fantastic day. My dummy self sold early, but I'll add when the stock price comes down. I don't mind missing out on gains if I know it's coming with a fall. So let me show you MVS. Let me show you SNPR. SPAC. but I love Volta charging. If you've been on a Twitter Spaces with me, you know that I love Volta charging. You know that I love this company. It's a company that I've been bullish on beyond before anyone was even talking about it. I've got YouTube videos about it. I was trading sideways forever. Last Friday, I think it was, which was the 20th. The 20th, I think it was, or the 9th, sometime last week, I cut it. And then I come back to it, I see a massive drop for no reason. And I'm like, what happened? And then I see it went up. I'm like, oh, you dummy, you sold. And then I see it come back down. So this is the thing. You want to watch how these plays move. Sometimes they can move very well. And you can get like a little pop and you can trade it. But usually with these merger things, you want to be very careful as to how they play out. Someone was asking me earlier, all right, if you're still here and you asked about a stock earlier, just throw it down below, please, and I'll revisit it as they come in. Yes, AMD. Let's go into AMD. That's the one I want to talk about. That's another stock that I really like. I really like AMD. Not Bitcoin. Mining chips are a big deal now. Not mining chips. Chips, just chips. What do you call them? Semiconductors. Semis. It's funny when people say semis, I think of the trucks, but they're semiconductors. It's kind of dancing in this wedge here. I do really want this under $100 a share. I do really want this under $100 a share, and I guess maybe I'm being cheap. But that's the thing. Your 9 EMA is your support. I think if this breaks, we retest this 103 level. If 103 doesn't hold, we come to 98. We kind of play around there. But again, this is something that I'm patient with. I'm fine waiting for a flash crash or something to get into this one. I agree with you. Amir is 1,000% spot on. I think AMD does very well going into next year. Very, very well. 2022 is a big year for gambling, big year for semis, big year going into it. And I can't believe we're only like 4 months away from 2022. But had a massive run up. It's cooling off. I think it should stair step down around $100, just like Peloton. That's the area that I want. And I might be saying it's only $7 a share. Right on. You could dollar cost average in. But I think that I want to wait this one a little bit out. My gut tells me to be patient with this one. I want to take a quick look at Peloton selfishly. Okay, that ad is doing very well for us, around $98, up $9 now, a little more than $9. Xilinx is the better buy over AMD. I've never heard of. Do you got a ticker? Xilinx. If this is a penny stock, I'm gonna lose my shit. Okay, it's not. Who's Xilinx? This is the thing. I know Xilinx makes chips, but okay, we don't need all these tabs. Let me just close them. Boom, boom, boom. Accept the cookies. I don't know who Xilinx works for or works with. That's the other thing. I know AMD's got everything going on. That's the only reason I stay in AMD. But I haven't really looked at Xilinx. See, with these kind of things, man, with these kind of companies, I'm not saying Xilinx is bad. Clearly, the price action is showing that it's a good company. Based off just price action, it's doing very good. It's a very healthy stock, very strong stock, moving very, very well. I just don't know it. So I'd rather go with the one that I know that I've spent so much time on doing DD. AMD's offered a 1.723 shares of AMD for every Xilinx share. Yeah, it's probably due to the your market cap distribution. So if if they come in and be like, hey, we'll buy Xilinx at 40 billion per share, and then 40 billion, market cap per share, 40 billion market cap, then you have to adjust based off of that. Like for example, with Golden Nugget, Gnog was bought by, I think, DraftKings, and they were bought at, if I remember correctly, 1.5 bill market cap or 1.6 bill market cap. It's trading a little bit higher than that, but as you can see, every time it hits it, it comes back down lower. I think that's what's going on here. Okay, so let's do this. Okay. Seeing people asking about Big. Everyone loves that fucking company. Excuse me for cursing. I don't even know what they do. Toys? Is this the new genus? Oh, that's fantastic. Let's go. What the hell did I walk into? Okay. I'm getting off of this website. It looks sketchy. Yeah, not for me. Big Venco Ventures. We'll just do TA. So it looks like it's rounding here a little bit. As you can see, you're parallel on but you're hitting resistance at this level. As you can see, like you've been hitting resistance for a while at this. If you kind of look at across the board, you hit this resistance at a high of 3.27 here. It looks like you went above it here, 3.3. You're fighting to break it, but volume is declining. You got more volume these past 3 days than you did a lot of the days back then. You got your little inverted hammer situation here, but volume's declining. You need volume for this play. It's a low float, so it moves, but I know this is one that pumpers like to push too, so be very careful there. Am I too late to buy SPRT? I think so. I'll be honest with you, I think so. I think SPRT's had its fun. It's doing stuff. But I think it's made its massive move. Can it continue? Sure, but every dollar that a stock goes up beyond its fair valuation, it starts to get risky. I'm pretty like. Let me show you. You might be saying like, "What are you talking about?" Like, look at Tesla, right? Everyone was saying Tesla is stupidly valued at $900, overvalued, and that was correct. It came crashing down. Now, if Tesla was fairly valued at $900 a share, it would trade sideways. It came down to $540 a share because people thought, hey, $540 is a fair value for the stock. As you can see, it kind of always returns back to that area when things get really ugly in the markets. So keep that in mind. Just very, very simply put. Just keep that in mind. I think fair valuation for SPRT, if I was to go long on the stock, 10 and 12 bucks. That's if the current float stands through the merger. If I don't want to play any of the other ones, well, 10 to 12 bucks I think is fair based off of the market cap and the positioning. And I'm sorry that I said it should be around the same price as HUT. I thought their market caps were parallel and their floats were parallel, but they're not. HUT's market cap is about double and the float is much higher. So that's why you see the price discrepancy there. Fair valuation for Lucid. I'll tell you, I won't pay more than 15 to 17 bucks a share for this stock. That's me personally. Because there's no car on the road yet. I love the company. I love the leadership. I'm only paying for the company, the leadership, and the technology that they have here. I'm not paying for a proven product yet. That's why I won't buy the stock up here. It's me being stubborn, but it's also me protecting my capital because look at it. Like, it's a bit expensive. The company is $34.77 billion, probably mostly due to the cash that they have on hand. Big Digital. Can you give me a ticker on that, Afto, please? I'm not familiar with them. First NFT album to go platinum on the blockchain. Is that big? Be big? That's cool. That's really cool. That's actually very cool. I know NFTs are getting hot again, so it could make a move based off of that. But again, I don't know the company, so I can't really comment on it major. I apologize. All right, BTBT. All right, let's do BTBT so we can round out the Bitcoin stocks. And I only have 8 minutes left with you, so I want to touch BarkBox and maybe like one or two others. Thank you, World Traveler. You guys can also follow me on Twitter if you want. Link in the description. Go to ryanstocks.com. Shameless plug. You got to give me like 2 minutes of shameless plug. Go to ryanstocks.com. You can sign up for my Twitter. Benzinga Pro. Literally sign up for free for 2 weeks. Try it out. If you don't like it, cancel. I get a little kickback from that. Again, I do this show for free, so any way you guys could help would be awesome. And if you guys want to join the Patreon, you clearly saw we had a 500% runner in the middle of August. We got 1 slot left. So if you guys want it, go and grab it. 1 slot left. And you can follow me on Twitter by clicking this one. It'll take you to my Twitter. You can see it here. Putting out content as much as possible. Some stuff is fun. Some stuff is just me being fun. As you can see here, sometimes I just like to retweet funny stuff because it shouldn't always be serious all the time. But BTBT, I promised you, let's do it. Big digital, big digital, big digital. I call them big tech, or I don't know. This one was a fun one. This one was also one that we played in the Patreon. Did very, very well. As you can see here, you had this wedge pattern here, popped right out of it, textbook, ran to 20 bucks, from 3 bucks to 20 bucks. Very beautiful play, very textbook, a lot of fun. I have a funny feeling a certain somebody is short on SPRT. No, man, I don't short stocks. And I don't have puts on it either. I told you, full transparency, the only positions that I'm holding right now in terms of puts are Lucid, and I'm holding Mara puts, and I'm holding Snapchat puts. That's it. I don't have any calls on anything because of what's going on tomorrow, but I don't have SPRT puts. It's just, I think it's foolish to fight against the momentum play like this because you get burned. There's no reason to do that. I'm not going to go into anything with emotions. The only reason this is the thing. A lot of people want, like, you guys can hate me, you guys can dislike the video. It doesn't affect me at all. But look for honesty. Look for people who are going to give you the honest opinion on something. Don't look for someone who's going to be like, oh, the stock's going to $800 a share because of ABCD. Can it? Sure. Will it? I don't know. But I just wanted to be 100% transparent with you guys that with these kind of things, we saw with Torchlight, we saw with other plays. I get a funny feeling going into merger, so I want to be safe and I want to protect you guys because I want you guys. The reason I'm doing this is to help you as best as possible. So BTBT clearly peaked at $20, 2074, and is now declining. You're building a bit of support here, and you're building resistance here. You got a resistance at the 9 EMA and the 200 moving average. And you're building you have support here at the 50 moving average. Now, this is one that I'd like to use my handy dandy Fibonacci for. So we'll come down to this low point, we'll draw it up here. And as you can see here, this is why I love Fibonacci so much, is because you can clearly see that we're sitting on a support line of 1034. So in that 1034 area is where our support is, and it's holding. So it could possibly trade sideways, but if it breaks that, you start to get a little bit dangerous, right? If it breaks that, you'll probably come down to the 885, and then you'll probably test 750 and come down lower. Now, the thing about this company is, I'll be honest with you, I don't know much about it. I don't know how their operation works. It looks like they had decent revenue for a Bitcoin miner. And it looks like it kind of lags, but it's weird that coming from like seeing all the pumpers out there, right? It's weird for me that they don't pump this one, but that's just me. But if you look at it, market cap is around the same as HUT. The float is about a third of what HUT is. But again, I don't know their operations. I don't know if these guys are based out. They are based out of the U.S. Let's take a look at their website. I only have 4 minutes with you guys. But there's another show that comes on, so I got to get out here quickly. But I want to see if I can get like just their just at least their hash rates. I should have clicked mining, right? That was smarter. Okay, see, this is what's weird for me. Where are we? Okay, so 1.92. So it's essentially a 1.9 exahash rate. It's a good hash rate. It's a good hash rate. Okay, hold on. Is this their current hash rate or world or hash rate represents? Okay, so this is their current hash rate. The number of miners they have, the Bitcoin. They've got a good amount of Bitcoin mined. Now I don't know if they're holding it or they sold it, but that's their business. That shouldn't really matter. They're mining out of Texas, Nebraska, and Georgia. Very good. And Canada. Not a bad company at all. Not a bad company by any means. But that is, that's kind of my take on it. Your Fibonacci, this is one that respects, if you look at it, respects the technical analysis spot on. It's like AMC. AMC respects technical analysis a lot too. I promised BarkBox, so let me do it. I did talk about BarkBox with a Patreon member earlier today, so I know it off the top of my head. Beautiful curl. Beautiful swing play. Looks like you're sitting for a beautiful swing play. Take a look at this. You've got your support line being set up here. Look at that. Clearly, clean support. You kind of sold off heavy here. And where are my hollow candles? There we go. No, not Heikinashi hollow. There we go. Okay, so I was like, what is going on? Why are all my candles solid? It's so it's a little off. But take a look at it. Clear down. It's making its way back up. You're going to be fighting some resistance a little bit there, but that's okay. Moving average is not going to help me there. Okay, so it looks like 9 EMA was a bit of resistance for this stock for a bit, and it looks like it overtook it today. Don't look at after hours. Don't look at pre-market. Look at pre-market around 8 a.m. That's around the time you should be taking pre-market seriously. But after hours, I don't take seriously. Volume is so low. Look at this. You literally have 1, 5, 110, 3,000 shares, 110 shares. Volume is too low to matter, but it's doing good. It's doing very good. It's actually setting up very nicely. I'd like it to continue to hold this level and then make its way back up. This is going to be a hard candle to recover from. It's a 15% drop. I'm assuming this was probably something happened around here, bad news or something, where it took a bit of a dip. AMD and Xilinx had a deal to go through not long ago, I believe. Had a deal to go. Did the deal fall apart? If they're going to buy Xilinx, it's even more value for me. That gives you more value to do it. You said in the past have been true and protecting me. I appreciate you, World Traveler. So you guys listen to World Travel Magazine. I think they've been here before and they've seen that. I just want to be honest with you guys. I have no reason. Like I would never come on here and pump U.S. stock. I'd never come on here and tell you like, hey, don't buy this stock because I don't like it or whatever, right? So just you do you. Do whatever's best for you as a trader. Do whatever's best for you and protect your capital. That's all that matters. Really quickly still checking BarkBox. Yep, just BarkBox is doing very well. It should be doing very well. I do have 1 minute. We can go a little bit over. I'm not getting kicked out yet. Lucid is Lucid is in the future. I agree with you. 1,000%. I love Lucid going into the future. All right, Square. We're going to end on Square. One of my favorite long-term holds. I'm holding this stock long-term. Clearly, it's going through a bit of a phase, right? Massive run-up, came down, wanted to retest again, had a little gap, filled it. I think this is really what's going on is fear going to the Fed tomorrow. I promise I talk about that, so I got to talk about that. Never does all I want is to say, right, Palantir to the moon. Palantir to the moon. There you go, Quentin. I said it for you. Palantir to the moon. I love Palantir. I'm not pumping it. The float's way too high for me to pump it. It's a billion float, but I love Palantir. Palantir to the moon, Quentin. But Square, look, you broke support here, but you have a little bit of support going on here, but it's kind of following this candle support area. If you look here, look very closely. This line is too thin for me to do anything. So let me just, I can redraw this later, but let me just show you very quickly what support area I'm watching. You got support here. So if you look, these candles here have been previously shown to be support. I think if we go back in time, support, previous resistance is now support. Very cool to see that. It's a very bullish sign for traders to see stuff like that kind of movement. But again, I'm still respecting my Fibonacci levels in case we do break that support level, which is completely fine for me. I couldn't care. Okay, why are we glitching? Sometimes Webull is very cooperative, and sometimes it's not very cooperative. Okay, so that should be touching that should be here, but it's not being cooperative at all. So, folks, I do have to run. I score tomorrow as it is late here in the UK. Yeah, sure, you're more than welcome to join us. Just let me know when you guys join because I know it's the end of the month. I don't want you guys to get charged for August and September. Let me know when you join, and if there's slots are full, just shoot me a DM, and I'll figure something out with you guys. So, folks, as always, I appreciate you watching. Shout out to my desktop. I hate when that happens. Pet peeve. But it is what it is. If you guys want to do me a favor, hit the like button on your way out. We're really light on the likes today. Can we get it to 70? We just need 4 more people to hit the like button. Let's get it to 70 likes. If you guys want, do me a favor, subscribe to my YouTube channel, ryanstocks.com. That would mean the world. That's like the best thing you can do to help me out is hit the subscribe button on my YouTube channel. Got videos coming out every single week. This week's been light. I took this week off. I have too much stuff going on, but I'll be coming back, roaring back this weekend into next week. Patreon is there if you guys would like to sign up. Benzinga Pro, free trial. And if you guys want to sign up, you get 30% off for life with promo code RyanR in the description. Twitter, Instagram, make sure you guys can follow me on Instagram too. I'm trying to build that up. Trying to build up the Instagram and the Twitter if you guys want to sign up there. And if you like Webull, I know it's being buggy today. It kind of embarrassed me towards the end of the stream. But if you guys would like, you can sign up for Webull and get 2 free stocks. Very, very cool platform that I really love using. So, folks, as always, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Zinger Nation. Thank you all so much. Hit the like button on your way out. Thank you to everyone. Thank you so much for subscribing to YouTube too. I appreciate you all. Have a great day. Bye-bye.